Good morning, friends and fellow traders. This is Doug Campbell with Right Way Options coming to you with the morning market preparation video for the 15th of May 2018. My goodness, it's hard to believe that half of this year is already coming into play. I mean, June is just right around the corner, and it's hard to believe that we've already progressed through the majority of the first and second quarter. It's really amazing. So looking at the market here, let's take a quick peek here. We got that rally yesterday, which makes 8 straight days here in the Dow and a rally up. And we really tried hard several times to poke through that 250,000 mark on the Dow. As a matter of fact, we only missed it on the Dow by 6 points of touching that 25,000 before those profit takers came in and kind of pushed us lower there on the day. And I've been suggesting for the last couple of trading days to be very careful about buying up here, because the chances of a pullback seem to be growing. Just simply in the fact that we've had eight straight days up should give you a little bit of clue that a little bit of rest or a little bit of pullback would be fairly common. Some profit taking going on. Now, I don't think, at least at this point, that I'm too worried that this is just going to collapse. We did break the downtrend line here. We are above the 50-day moving average, and notice how those averages are coming up to create a nice little level of support. So any pullback in here could actually set up a good opportunity for more upside trading. But we'll have to watch and wait for that. There's no prediction as to when that might occur. And honestly, I'm not predicting yet that we're actually going to do much of a pullback. We could consolidate. So there's no reason to predict here. We just have to learn to follow the price action, and the price action was suggesting we were getting just a little bit weary on this move up and a little bit of rest. Now, currently futures are pointing to a lower open, now down about 75 points at the open, so we are going to get that follow through to the downside. Now, whether that holds the whole day or not, I don't know. Remember, the bulls don't want to give up. They don't want to give up easy either. So we could easily see them get inspired off of some earnings report or economic data, such as the retail sales coming out this morning, to inspire them back higher. So keep that in mind. No particular direction here. I just think healthy markets rally, and then we either consolidate or we pull back. We either consolidate or we pull back to find that support so that we can start building a trend. And that's all I'm looking at here is the possible building of a little uptrend going on here, and finally breaking through the downtrend. If we take a look at the SPY, same thing, rallied up to that resistance area there, kind of a weak resistance area to be honest, but we rallied up there, tried to pop through there, and ended up with more of a spinning top doji up here. No real pullback in that candle, or no real clue of a pullback here in the SPY, but you can see we are getting some follow through to the downside here now. So just a recognition of how far we've moved up, and the possibility of some profit taking coming in. The Qs, on the other hand, left us with a shooting star pattern right here at the January high. Not a big surprise, 8 days up, and just a little bit of selling coming into play before the end of the day. And of course, that is also showing a little follow through this morning as we pull back. So don't fear the pullbacks. As long as we stay above the 50-day moving average, I think we're going to be okay. That doesn't mean that there won't be some volatility and there won't be some challenging trading, but I think overall the market will be okay if we can hold above that 50-day moving average. Let's take a look at IWM. IWM has been the strongest of the indexes, and you can see we tested that all-time high up here and just couldn't quite break it out, couldn't quite get her done. And then the sellers came in pushing that down for a bearish engulfing candle here on IWM, and obviously suggesting more lower prints this morning as well. So no big surprises here. If we take a look at the VIX, just pulling back nice and steadily. Picked up just a little tiny bit yesterday, a little bit of resting pattern here on the VIX. And we are now below that 200-day moving average with the 8 exponential following through. Please keep in mind if we got some really quick selling or something going on today, or harsh selling that came into play today, we could actually see this pop up significantly. So we'll want to keep an eye on that. On that VIX. We don't want that to return or get back into, whoops, I didn't mean to move that line. We don't want it to get back into, this uptrend that we had here. So I need to adjust my line back up here. So we want to stay below this support. We want to stay below this downtrend on the VIX. Let's take a look at T2122. T2122, that 4-week new high, new low ratio. Yesterday I suggested we were getting up here into that area where we could potentially be looking for that little bit of a pullback or consolidation. And by the end of the day, that kind of proved to be true as we found a few sellers up there. Nothing terrible here. In fact, we can stay up in this range for a while. So if the bulls find some kind of inspiration, we could bounce right back up in here. As you can see, we can bounce right back up and continue moving higher. But my guess is we're probably going to drift a little bit lower. In T2122, nothing bad. I'm certainly not predicting bearishness here at all. Just a little bit of a rest, a little bit of a pullback, where some profit takers will obviously take some advantage of that. Let's take a look at the Let's take a look at the economic calendar. We have a busy economic calendar today. Retail sales at 8:30 this morning. Obviously, that's a big number and can move the market around considerably. They're not expecting any big thing out of this, so a surprise either way could really move the market. Empire State Manufacturing also at 8:30. Business inventories, housing market index, and then Treasury International here at the end of the day. I didn't see anything in expectations of consensus that's really going to toss this market anything big. So if there's a big surprise in one of these numbers, that could certainly make the market move pretty substantially. Keep in mind we have a couple of Fed speakers today. No big worries about that, except we had the Goldman Sachs report that came out, or a story from Goldman Sachs saying that they're essentially predicting that we're going to see interest rates at 3.6 before the end of 2019. So, get her done if you want to predict. I don't know. I don't know how they come up with that stuff. It's to me, trying to predict the future is ridiculous. Let's just follow the charts. Buyers and sellers will agree on price, and all we have to do is follow what the buyers and sellers are doing. And if interest rate starts creeping in, then we're going to start seeing more sellers than buyers. It's really that simple. On the earnings calendar, big day on the earnings calendar, about 250 companies reporting earnings today, the last really big day of second quarter earnings. So be careful with that. Make sure you're checking those earnings reports. Home Depot reported this morning, and unfortunately, Home Depot's not helping us with the market. Home Depot missing on sales numbers and pulling back sharply here at the open. So that's not helping us, and that might be why we're seeing the futures kind of leaning heavily toward that bearish side, at least at the moment. So kind of watch those earnings reports as they continue to trickle in. throughout the day and afternoon. Everyone, I want to wish you a fantastic day, and if this is the first time you've seen this video, please remember that I don't do these with any kind of perception of bullish or bearishness. I do these to help me, and I happen to share that with you. And I take a look at the markets and I look at them objectively, and I believe preparation is far more important than luck, so I always prepare for every trading day. And if you find these helpful, please do me a favor, click that subscribe button on YouTube, the follow me button on Facebook, click those thumbs up buttons, and please feel free to drop a comment and share this video with any friends or family that you might think could benefit from this information. Everyone, I want to wish you a great day. I want to wish you great profits. Take care of yourselves. We'll talk to you all very soon, bright and early tomorrow morning. Have a good one.